Honest cops. How do you put up with corrupt and punk cops? First year on the job was the worst. I was 25, fresh out of academy, working in a small rural department where everyone had been there since the dinosaurs. The kind of place where old school meant anything went, and your badge could cover for just about anything short of murder if you'd been there long enough. I kept my head down. I wasn't proud of it, but I was green, and I didn't want to be the guy who didn't back up his fellow officers. The shift culture was rotten. Not full-blown corruption, at least not how people think of it. It wasn't drug deals or planted evidence. It was guys using their authority to power trip, escalate nothing calls into shouting matches, toss someone in the back seat because they didn't show enough respect. Most of them weren't bad people, just jaded, bitter, lazy. But some of them were punks. One in particular was my sergeant. He'd been with the department for over 20 years, and everyone kissed his ass because he made things hell if you didn't. It was my second year when everything shifted. We got a call about a disturbance. Neighbors said someone was yelling and crying in the front yard. Turned out to be a young man, early 20s, mentally handicapped. His mom had stepped out for groceries and he got scared when he couldn't find her. When we pulled up, he was sitting in the grass, just sobbing and rocking. Not violent, not threatening, just scared. My sergeant came out of the cruiser like he was storming Fallujah, started barking orders, towering over the kid, poking him with his finger, calling him a goddamn retard, demanding he stand up or he'd be hauled off like a dog. People started coming out on their porches. Phones came out. I could see a lady across the street shaking her head in disbelief, and I just couldn't take it. I stepped between them, told my sergeant to take a walk. He got right in my face, nose to nose, and said I was undermining his command. I said if he kept it up, he was going to have more than just the neighbors filming him. I turned my back on him and got down next to the kid, talked to him soft, asked for his name, asked if he wanted to call his mom. 10 minutes later, he was calm and back inside. His mom came home crying, apologizing to me. I told her she had nothing to apologize for. Back at the station, it turned into a blow-up. My sergeant tried to write me up for insubordination. I wasn't having it. I walked into the chief's office and told him exactly what happened. I wasn't the only one. Neighbors filed complaints. The mom filed one too. A week later, that sergeant was demoted. Didn't get fired. He had too much tenure, but he lost his power. I got the cold shoulder from some guys for a while, but I didn't care. A few years later, I was offered a job as chief in another small town. Different culture, smaller department. I made body cams mandatory from day one. Not as a trap, but as protection for both the public and the officers. If you're doing your job right, the camera only helps you. I rewrote the training program myself, focused hard on communication. Not just command presence or takedowns, but actual listening. Teaching my guys how to read a room, how to calm things down instead of ramping them up. Most of the guys I've trained get it. A few washed out. That's fine by me. I look back sometimes and think about that kid in the grass. That could have gone so differently. If I hadn't spoken up, who knows what would have happened. I'm not perfect. I was an asshole my first year too. But that day, something clicked. That's the day I stopped being just a cop and started being someone I could live with.